What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with Paige, and today we're going to be doing Cluedo Chooses my May and June TBR. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. For those that are new here, each 2 months I play Cluedo to determine what my TBR is going to be for those 2 months, and I then can add in extra books, read other things, all depending, but I just love playing this game so much. We are on like season 3 of this, episode 2, who knows anymore, not me, that's for sure. And I'll leave a link down below to the playlist of all the previous iterations, as well as the walkthrough of the actual rules themselves as well. So each 2 months I get to select some books based off the prompts and based off the however many cards I decide to collect in that month, because chaos of course. But we do need to go over how I did the previous month to see if there are any cards that I won't be revealing or whatever the case may be. Then we'll roll to see who I'm playing with, and then Ash will roll for his traps and we'll dive into the gameplay. So I'll see you over there. Hello my darlings, welcome to this round of Cluedo. So we need to go over what happened last month, talk through my reads, and then select who I'm playing for. Ash is ready to roll his d20 to get his traps, and we'll be able to dive into the gameplay. So the first thing I needed was this card from the conservatory. I said that I was going to read Shorefall, and I did, so I can reveal this to be the candlestick. So we'll mark that off on the little doohickey. From there I went into the ballroom and I said I was going to read Word of Honor and The Cat Who Saved Books, and I did, so I can reveal both of these. So we have the wrench and the ballroom in the ballroom. Plenty of ballroom there. Then I made my way back to the billiards room where I only needed to read 1 book, and I said A Sorceress Comes to Call, and I have read that. So I can reveal the study. And then finally we ended in the library, so I needed to read 2 books. I said On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass and The Interrogation of a Charlotte Wolf by Amberlynn Qualamina, and I did read both of those, so I can reveal these. So we have The Rope and Mrs. Peacock. That's our first person revealed. And we've nearly got the weapon. I was going to say you've almost already got the weapon. So last month I was playing as Mrs. White, so I'm going to roll the d6, see who I get, and then Ash will do his traps and we'll get into it. So who am I this month? Fuck.
Mr. Mustard.
Do you want to read out episode? Cry.
So she got D. Jonathan Mustard. So the challenge is daily movement for 1 month, and the power up is she gets a free reroll.
I gotta remember that. Alright. Okay. Yep. Alright, let's go.
Alright, time to...
I will see what it is, because I could reroll it. Oh, I feel bad.
No.
Nah.
That's it. That's how you can use your reroll.
Cluedo hates both of us, so it's fine.
Really not having a great time of it, is it?
No.
Well, 2 traps this time.
Yeah, I think it was only like, what, 4 last time, and I managed to land on 2.
You still managed to land on it. If you can even pick where there are traps.
Oh god, I don't even know what I'm doing. On to roll number 1. Oh, 1, 2. Professor Plum. Alrighty, so everything went pretty smooth sailing for the last 2 months. I definitely had an amazing reading month in March that I will never be able to replicate again, and that's completely fine. But the first prompt that we got was Professor Plum. And for that, I'm going with a book that requires a little bit of big brain energy, and going with The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. So this is the second in the Broken Earth trilogy. I don't know anything about what's going on in this one. I just know that the 5th season I really should reread, because the brain cells, they're few and far between, and I'm gonna need them for this one, but we'll see how we go. It's on the TBR, and I definitely think it fulfills the prompt. Also because it's a plum cover. I didn't even realize that. I was just going, whatever one is going to use my brain cells, that will be for this prompt. On to roll number 2. 1, 2, 3. Alright, here we go. Let's go with that one. Oh my god.
What'd you get?
Oldest book on my TBR. Oh, I think my soul just broke a little inside. So, for roll number 2, I got oldest book on TBR, and I will switch you to the section of my Patreon video that I filmed that is planning my TBR video and showing you what one that will be. So next is to sort by earliest added and choose one of the first 5 on your list. I'm very curious to see what comes up with story graphs because it was later in the piece, so earliest added. But if there's one, yep, there it is. Okay, so Sapiens is on the list because that has come up in Cluedo for oldest book on TBR. Might as well just pop that one on in. And if I don't read it in May, I'm holding it. The second it came up, I knew I was going to cry because it's Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari, and I have procrastinated on this for years. Like, I genuinely think I might have got this when I was in uni. When did this come out? 2014. I feel like it would only have been a year or 2 after that. And it's been sitting on my shelves the entire time. I've tried to pick this up before. I've put it on TBRs before. I have not read it. If I don't read it this month, I'm unhauling it. Well, in this next 2 months, I can put it on for May or June. But if I don't get to it, I will be unhauling this. Come on, Paige. You can do it. You can do it. I'm fucking nervous. If I doubled up prompts, I would have put this as both Professor Plum and this because big brain energy. On to roll number 3. Fuck me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'll take those. Alright. So I just need 2 books. For roll number 3, we ended up in the hall, and so I get to just pick 2 mood reads. The first I'm going to put on is Locklands by Robert Jackson Bennett, the last in the Foundry Side trilogy. I am so excited to get to this book. I cannot wait. I've loved this whole series, and I'm so intrigued and scared about where we're going to go, where the ending of book 2 left off. I have no idea what's going to happen for this one, and I'm so nervous and so scared for my little darlings. But I am also very excited to get into it. We are reading this for BookStara, so this is the first trilogy that we're doing for the first half of the year, and then in the second half of the year we will be reading the Abby Jimenez romance series. So, gotta put this on. It is mandatory for May. And the other one I'm putting on, I have been chomping at the bit to get to this as well, and that is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I don't know what it is about this book, but it has taken up my brain space for probably the past 2 years in wanting to read it. I am so curious by it. I don't know anything about it aside from the fact that it's about a group of women who are living in a cage, and that's it. I don't know, I know nothing, but I'm so curious to get to this, and I'm going to be using this for the May Buzz cover challenge of eyes on the cover. I think that's right. So I'm finally getting to get to it in May, and I am so bloody excited. On to roll number 4. Fuck.
You might as well use it.
But what if it's lower?
But
okay. I'm gonna re-roll and pray that it's higher.
Because, like, if it's not higher,
yeah,
then you're still taking the same amount of turns. But if you get higher, you're done.
True. Okay. Okay, using my re-roll that I actually remembered to use this time. Yeah. Ooh, come on.
See?
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful.
And you can't land on a track.
So those 2, I fucked up.
Why?
I usually finish with...
Because one round you only got 1 card from each room.
But I thought I made it up. But I miscalculated.
So you can either take a 50-50 shot next week, or you can...
But that's the thing, like, we'd just be playing, get 2 cards and that would be it.
Well, you could take an extra room if you want to. There's nothing stopping you from taking an extra room.
Yeah? And, like, to get from there to there could be disastrous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna take it like winner takes all.
Winner takes all.
Yeah.
So for roll number 4, we ended up in the study, and for that I have another 2 mood reads. So I'm going to put on Time of Trial by Michael Bright. This is the 4th in the Laws of Magic series, and I've been chipping away. I read book 3 earlier this year. Yeah, that happened in March, and so I'm going to continue on. This is one of the series on my TBR that I want to have completed by the end of the year, so happy to be able to put this one on. It's chipping away at one of the oldest series that I own, but not the oldest that I've started, because I think I reread book 1 to restart it. But anyway, I just really enjoy seeing Aubrey's character development and where we're going to go with him and George, and it's a pretty good time. I will be curious to see the 3rd book. I couldn't find an audiobook for. I'll be curious to see if I can find one for this. Otherwise, this might be one of my physical reads. But I would also like to get to this in May. In case you can't tell, there's a bit of a series thing happening because of Squash That series. Even though that's only a like week-long readathon. I'm not insane, it's fine. The other book that I'm going to put on is Challenger Deep by Neil Schusterman. This is Bert's pick for my bookish peeps, and I realized that I hadn't allocated it or thought about where I was going to fit this in, so I've decided let's put it in here. This is the one great thing about having these TBRs that are so open. I probably will schedule this for June, but if the mood strikes in May, then I can, but that's what I'm running with for the moment, and I'm really excited to get to this. I think it's going to be a really powerful read. I don't know much about the content. I just know that it's Neil Schusterman and I fucking adore their writing, and I think whatever the topics are, they're going to handle it with grace. On to roll number 5. Two, three, four, 5. Cool. So there's those 2. Now, watch this be absolute fucking bedlam as I try to get from there to there. I ended up in the kitchen, so again, it's another 2 mood reads. So once again, keeping to the trend of series, I'm gonna go with Across the Green Grass Fields by Shauna Maguire. Rain kindly gifted this to me. I absolutely adore them, and I am so excited to dive into this. I believe it's the Horse Girl. I love that that's what I know it as. Book, I don't know if people, I don't think a lot of people like this one, but I'm invested in this series. I'd love to see where we're gonna go, and it will be a book that I read, even if it's not my all-time favorite. So I'll be really curious to see where we do go with this and how and why people find it the way that they do. The other one that I'm going to put on is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. This is for TBR Knockout, a book with a yellow cover for May. This is the 2nd in the Well Met series where Renaissance people, Willow Creek. I'm not sure if we are going to spend a lot of time at the fair in this one, but I'll be very curious to see where we go anyway. And I'm just very excited because I really love the setting of the first one, and I'd like to see where we go for this one. So on the pile it goes. On to roll number 6. Roll number 6 of God knows how many.
You're safe from the traps.
I'm
but only just
there and there.
No, I had it. I had you starting out poorly.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, so we get a prompt. The rope. Oh god. So for roll number 6, this was really hammering home the choice that I had made. And I ended up getting the prompt of rope. For this one, I am going to put in 2 options, but I only have to read 1. Technically for these prompts, I don't have to read the books, but I usually do anyway. And I'm gonna put in The Malevolent 8 by Sebastian de Castell, which is due to come out in May. And I'm just very excited. I had a sneaky suspicion this was gonna become a series, but I didn't put it on the series spreadsheet. And then all of a sudden I'm getting an email saying the book's coming out. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Yes. So very excited. This series has me tied up in knots, but the other one that I would also put on is Rebel in the Deep by Katie Robert, which is the 3rd in the Crimson Sails series. Crimson Sails, rope. Also, Katie has me tied up in many different ways. So those are the 2 options that I'm leaning towards for rope, but I'm basically going to put a new release because it has tied me up straight away that I want to be reading these. So that's what I'm going to do. On to roll number 7. I didn't even count.
Damn you! Can I have a reroll?
Do you know what's hilarious? I could go there just for shits and
You
giggles.
could just intentionally give yourself a trap, but that puts you further away.
I'm just gonna put the traps in there.
How much more chaos can we ensue?
Might as well. Yeah, right, now. Not looking. That one. Start a series.
Oh no.
For roll number 7, I got a 1. I got a 1! I'm loving my life. And the prompt I got was start a series. This was seriously some difficult finagling to decide what the hell I wanted to start. But I've decided to go with 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. There's a few different forms of representation in this. I can't remember 100%, but I do believe that it is trans representation, and that will be fitting for TBR Knockout for June. So I'll be starting this in June, but I am really excited to get to this. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I think it's going to be a fun time. I think Ren loved this. I can't remember. I could be shooting myself in the foot for that one. But I know they had it for their book club book. A few of my friends read it, but I'm curious to be able to finally get into it and start the series and see what it's all about. On to roll number 8.
There was no way you could do it in one roll. But
No.
Still.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could have done a 6 and a 5.
Yeah.
The dice gods were not that kind. All right, here we go. Go with that. Ooh. It's on top and I've already seen it, so. Last letter, first letter. So the last book that I picked, the next book has to be the first letter. What? The last letter of the book I just picked for starter series needs to be the first letter of this book.
My brain hurts.
I know what I mean by it. For roll number 8, we got last letter, first letter. So that means that the last letter of 16 Souls, so S, has to be the first letter of the book that I pick. And that is where the chaos happened in my TBR planning, because I was like, what the fuck am I gonna pick? But I went with that one because S is a very easy letter. And I have Siren by Angie Sage. And this is the 5th book in the Septimus Heap series. I am also trying to get through this one throughout the year, as well as it is one of my oldest owned TBR books as well, and I am very excited to continue on. I am just really enjoying this middle grade adventure. It's very easy to read, and I think I need a little bit of not big brain energy after some of the other series that I've got on here. So it's still a chunky monkey, but it is definitely very quick to get through and starts with an S, so fits in with a prompt. On to roll number 9. When I should have taken all.
Should have given yourself a short month.
1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We can do this. We can do this. I am a strong, independent woman. The wrench. The wrench! Oh, God. If I pulled that, that meant I pulled the traps.
Huh?
Because it threw a wrench in my plans.
What?
So if I pulled the wrench during the gameplay, I would pull the trap prompts, because they throw a wrench in my plans.
Well, you already threw the
Yeah, I know.
in there, so you preemptively knew that.
Oh, should I pull them out?
No.
No?
I think it's fair that you've already had them in there for 2 turns.
Okay. Now, this does go over 2 months.
Yes, it does.
Well, I got me traps. So,
Wait, what?
I'm gonna throw a wrench in my plans.
Oh. When is you re-rolling?
No, I'm just gonna insert this after the fact.
Okay.
So, here we go. Oh. That does throw a wrench in the plans. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So for roll number 9, I got the wrench, which usually what happens is I pull a trap card because that's throwing a wrench in my plans, and they sort of take the choice out of my hands a little bit. And so I, hopefully with some really dodgy editing, ended up replacing my characters back and digging out the prompts and pulling one so that I could then structure this accordingly, because it felt, I chucked the traps in because Ash had only had 2, so I was like, yeah, no, it's gonna be fine, I'll just chuck them in anyway because they're fun to get, even though I don't get them often as traps. But I had to pull them out and then pull one, and I got 1 week 1 shelf. So let's head back to Past Me and we'll see what I'm putting in for this prompt. One of the prompts I got was 1 week 1 shelf. We have 7 shelves, so I'm gonna generate it with you and then I'll jump back onto the camera and see what we're looking at. So share this one, and we're gonna go generate. So number 4 is 1, 2, 3. Ooh, oh dear. There's not going to be many on those that I haven't read. So that will be exciting because I can read 1 shelf and then go on to the next. So I'll take you over there now so we can have a look and then. Hello. So this is shelf number 4. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. Although now that I think about it, all of that shelf is red. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This does open up more opportunities because literally everything on that shelf is red. Helsing and Zelda are the only 2 things on that that's not. Everything on this shelf is red and everything on that shelf is red. So it's literally just a couple of middle grade, because this does open up a world of pain. This shelf doesn't have much on red, but it does have some. This has quite a few things that I haven't read. Then this one has 2 books. This has 1 book, or if I decide to pick up the Red Rising trilogy again, which I don't think so. And then these are all my non-fictions that I have not read yet. And then there's a couple floating here. And then these are my graphic novels and poetry, which I think all of those are read. So I might just do between 1 and 3 and see what shelf we end up on. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 3.
Here's a number between 1 and 3. It's 2.
Okay, this is the one time I would have been okay with the non-fiction because I already have Sapiens on this, but that's okay. So we have What's a Girl Got to Do? I'm not going to restart that. Conjuring of Light and On the Come Up. Those where I'm going to start. I can also do this in June, but squash that series. Squash that series. I got this shelf and there is a giant gaping hole here. So if anyone can deduct from this what it may be. I have selected A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab as my wrench. Series, I'm petrified. This is throwing a complete and utter wrench in my reading plans, but I'm gonna make it work for me. And so this is the one that's going in for this place. And on to roll number 10.
1.
Oh, thank God. 1, 2. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. So for roll number 10, we finally ended up in the dining room and collecting all the cards. So now I just have to read all of the things. And when planning this, I did looking at what the first week is going to be. So for my 2 mood reads, I'm going to be smart and put On the Come Up and What's a Girl Got to Do by Holly Bourne. Because these are the 2 other books that are on this shelf, but these are also, I think, the last 2 books that were on my rainbow shelf previously. This is a series I have to finish. Like, it's been looming over my head and I just want to get up to date with Angie Thomas's catalogue. So I'm just gonna put these both in. I need to read both of these to be able to get the dining room cards. So I don't know if that's a good idea, but that's what I'm doing. So this plus Lucklands, I Who Have Never Known Men, Challenger Deep, and The Malevolent 8 or Rebel in the Deep are the books that I have selected for this round of Cluedo. The main stack that I have to worry about are these very yellow themed books with one really obnoxiously red one. Lucklands, I Who Have Never Known Men, and Challenger Deep. So I've got a hefty stack of reading, but I think it's all going to be doable. And those mandatory stacks to be able to reveal the cards, I do have 2 months to read all of them. So we'll see what happens. I do feel like I've completely shot myself in the foot with pulling the 1 week 1 shelf because I usually do that for a whole month. So I don't know how I'm gonna fit the rest of this shit in, but we're gonna just pray to the gods and prioritize Squash That series for a particular time period. So we'll see what happens, but that is the stack. I am very excited to be able to get into these things and I can't wait. I am getting to things that have been sitting in my brain space or chomping at the bit or just it's so excited for, and that I cannot wait. I'm ready. I still have to finish my April TBR, but we'll get there. It's fine. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on picking up for May or June. And I also haven't included if any of my Patreon buddy reads or the Patreon Chaos Incarnates picks that I read each month as well. They're not included in here, so that could be interesting as well, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? I certainly don't. But on that note, feel free to leave anything you want to let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!